Good evening, everyone. The next few Torah sections, the next few parashos, revolve around the construction of the tabernacle, the Mishkan, not the tabernacle that you see on the side of I-40, I-64, from like the Mormons, which kind of looks kind of weird, and I'm not exactly sure why they built one on the random side of the road in Missouri, but they have one. So not that one, the real one, the Mishkan. So the next few parashos talk about the construction of the Mishkan, the utensils and implements contained therein that were used for the divine service. And it's interesting because for many of the items in the Mishkan, the Torah describes in intricate detail what materials each one were made of, what ornamentation was involved, what designs, what colors were on the tapestries. You have to ask yourself, as a member of the Jewish people, why is it important that Hashem tell all of this information to Moshe Rabbeinu to be conveyed to the Jewish people? What's the goal of telling us all of these details? Because, particularly for the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh HaKodashim, Moshe, Aaron, Elazar, his son, when he became Kohen Gadol, those are like the three individuals who got to go into that space. So why is it that we have so much detail in the Torah? Why couldn't Hashem say to Moshe, build the components, build the implements based on our conversation from 3 days ago? And be like, okay, why do I, as a member of the Great Unwashed, need to know all of the details for a tabernacle that I would never enter and I would never be able to see what is being described? Why do I need to know? And I think the answer is that Hashem wanted to keep the Jewish people informed and bought in. There's a concept of buy-in when individuals are connected to a topic, to a company, to a mission. But what leads to this concept of buying? What gets people to invest themselves emotionally, financially, in our case spiritually, to something that's going on? And the answer is that the people who are quote-unquote in the know, part of the inner circle, communicate the vision, the methodology, the goals, the roadmap to success for their organization. And you see some of the best Fortune 500 companies are the ones that have employees who have bought into the company, who buy into the mission, who are connected to it, who are invested in it, because they are aware of what's going on and they understand what the company is all about and what they're trying to accomplish. Sometimes people on the outside might say, oh, Frank works at that company and he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's totally in. That's what the people who didn't get the jobs at Google complain about the people who are working for Google or Facebook or whatever. Like, oh, they're like, he drank the Kool-Aid, man. Like, he's totally bought in. He's like, he's one of the choir boys now. He's just like totally focused on it and totally into that mindset. I think the reason Hashem told Moshe to convey to the Jewish people the details contained on the inside of the Mishkan was so that the Jewish people would have buy-in to this national structure they were going to build, to this national project, this national Mishkan of V'yasuli mikdash shachanti b'socho, as the Torah says. As God says to the Jewish people, make for me a sanctuary and I will dwell among you. And yesterday we talked about what does it mean v'sachanti b'socham. Check out last year's YouTube. Shameless plug to this YouTube channel. Close parentheses. But if the Jewish people are supposed to be building this on a national level, Hashem wanted them to be bought into it, to be invested in it. Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, when the Torah relates how he built the first Beis HaMikdash, the first temple in Jerusalem, may it be speedily rebuilt in our days. It tells us all about the details, the intricacies, the materials used, the astronomical value of all the precious metals. It creates buy-in. It gives us a connection to this concept with such tremendous spirituality, so at least we can get our head around, this is what the inside looked like. For example, you got the two cherubs who are on top of the Aron with their wings outspread. Is it out this way? Is it out that way? It's a Gemara in Maseches Yoma that discusses what's the orientation, but at least we can get our imagination around it. Are the arms of the menorah, are they straight or are they curved? What exactly did the flowers on the respective arms look like? How did this process come out? Now we can get our imagination around it. Now we can connect to the idea of what a quote-unquote house of God is designed to look like. We can understand how the different areas function. We can comprehend, in a limited manner, the beginnings of the spiritual concepts and foundations of such a holy place. If something is in God's Torah, it's because the concept matters. Hashem wants us, the Jewish people, to know about it. And this allows us to be involved, to be informed, and to connect to the holy concepts contained therein. So next time we see the concepts of the Torah that may seem to be a little bit esoteric, we should recognize that Hashem's telling this to us because He wants us to be informed. He wants us to connect to this particular mitzvah or concept. So let's focus and understand what it is, to turn towards it, as opposed to turning away from it, to buy in to the Mishkan and all the other mitzvahs in the Torah. Have a great week.